I'm just tryna make it out now. I'm just tryna make it out now. I'm just tryna make it out now. I'm just tryna make it out now.
I'm just trying to make it.
Shout out to BT Bad. That's my dog. What's happening? What's up?
That's my name.
Trying to
Say
make
my dog,
it
BT
out.
Bad.
Hey, fellas. Speaking of trying to make it out, we getting ready to make it out of our first season, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Season 1, Troof Be.
Yes, sir.
Trying to make it out.
Hey, Troof Be. What's
that?
Everything.
God, hey, boy, look at here.
God is everything. You hear
Boy,
me?
you sound like a rapper
Boy,
at the
he
BET
blessed
Awards,
us
boy. I
to
like to
10.
thank God.
It's our 10th
I like to
episode.
thank my mama.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey,
Ah!
they're getting that award.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I like to thank Jesus Christ.
Amen.
I like to thank my
Say
mom.
amen, but don't play.
It is.
I like to thank.
It is.
Hey, all my kids. You know what I'm talking about?
Boy, you
I'm just trying to make it out.
Hey, the best part about this though,
Yes, sir.
we don't got to put that darn statement up. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Put that statement on Facebook. We always got to put up. We do not own the rights to
Own
this
the rights
music.
to this music.
Oh, we got that one.
We got that one.
Oh, we got that one.
We own the right. We own the rights to that.
B
We own the rights.
bad.
Yes,
My
sir.
dog.
Real, hey, real quick down
Lil B.
memory lane though. Recap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, shout out to man. It's humble beginnings, man. You know, shout out first of all the TBT. You know, family podcast members. Shout out to all the TBT wives, man.
Absolutely.
Sacrificing and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And man, we started out with a banger. Ed Huntley.
LMA.
LMA,
Yeah,
boy.
107. We had 107.5.
Yeah, vibe, baby.
Vibe in the building.
Vibe.
DJ and my favorite DJ.
Go
Second favorite.
DJ.
Yo, P is first.
That's my
And
DJ.
what
Big
the-
dog,
and what
Melly
the-
Mill.
Mill.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That was some good stuff. We got
Hey, man.
to revisit that because it's getting serious down the road.
Shout
So
out to
we
them
need
coaches too,
Check
man.
that out, man.
Shout out to them
What's going
coaches,
on?
y'all. Them
Yes,
legends.
Justice.
Coaches.
Oh,
Yes,
Legends.
sir.
Oh, real.
Them
Yeah.
legends.
Yes, sir.
Them
Yes,
coaches,
sir.
bro.
Yes, sir.
Coaches.
Yeah.
Frank
Legends.
Turner, Paul Meckley, and Joe Canaan.
Yeah.
Joe Canaan.
Joe Canaan, baby.
I was kind of, I was real talk. I was kind of nervous throwing it to a defensive back.
Yeah, but you don't got to worry about that.
You know what I mean? You know what defensive backs are?
Hey, POP.
Motherfucking
POP.
receivers that can't catch.
Hey, POP.
That's another story. Yeah, I said that.
Hey,
Go
POP.
ahead.
He wasn't going to catch it. He wasn't going to intercept it. Remember, you would never heard of Peter Ward with that punt return against Manatee if he would have intercepted the ball.
Damn, who
He
turned
had a
off the
pick-
lights?
he had a
dog
pick
tail
six.
just did.
He had a pick six.
Ooh, pop.
That sounds like a little shade, but I'm just
POP
gonna keep it.
the
my
spirit.
dog.
Hey,
You in
no
trouble?
shade.
hey, I'm gonna just.
You said a cuss word.
Well, no, he didn't.
You said a cuss word. You are in trouble.
Ooh,
How much
POP.
older?
Oh shit! Parental discretion.
Ooh,
is
you said it
advised.
again?
Explicit.
Rated R.
Motherfucker, like
Rated
what the
R.
fuck?
You said
And-
another cuss word.
Hey,
Shit.
he sound like Bernie Mac. Shit, goddamn, fuck, yeah.
Hey man, we
That's my
grown
dog.
folks.
The experience. That's my
Hey,
dog.
man,
That's why I
we-
love you, boy.
What
Well-
else we had going on this season?
Damn.
POP.
Hey man, we had we definitely we talked about social injustice.
Oh yeah.
Larry Bryant, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Still
did
a
that.
movement going on out there, and we're gonna do our part.
Yeah.
For sure.
Season 2, we got a pretty good one that's gonna open up the season.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, then the reset button.
Yes, sir.
Well, the reset
Yes,
button
sir.
is big.
Did y'all hit the reset button?
The reset button, man.
Hey, I think
The
they
reset
sleeping on
button.
that reset button.
Go back and watch the reset button.
TBT viewers,
Y'all need to watch the reset button.
The world, y'all check out that reset button, man.
Check it out.
Good stuff on there, man.
Some
Good.
Heal the
Now,
World.
the one I really like, man, Black Wall Street. I learned a lot.
Oh man, burn
that was
white
deep.
Wall Street.
I
Boy, I
learned a
got-
lot.
That was deep.
Hey man, I felt like I learned. Boy, I got educated.
Yeah.
Educated.
Hell yeah, I got educated.
That Black Wall Street was
Straight up.
That was deep.
Big shout out to Mitch Maley, man. Straight
Yeah.
up.
Big shout out to
Sure.
Mitch.
Big Mitch.
Mitch and Mitch.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Mitch,
Mitch,
Mitch.
appreciate you. TBT, appreciate
Yes, sir.
you.
Yes,
Big
sir.
Mitch.
Shout out to Tiger King, man. Big
Tiger
Marino.
King.
No.
Came through.
Hey,
Hey,
Marino.
King.
Hey, Marino. A real talk. It's on the record type shit. You gonna have to come back season 2 because the hood still got questions, G.
Yo,
Marino, they still don't believe.
I got hit up today in Dollar General.
Not in the general.
In the general, man. I'm like, man, I just want to come in and
Hey, I couldn't even
make
get a hat.
it out.
Hey,
Yeah.
experience and real.
Wow.
T Green, no, I couldn't even get a haircut.
Oh Lord, that got
Yep.
yeah.
Oh man, it's serious still with Marino. Oh
Yes,
my.
sir.
I'm
Hey
trying to
Marino,
tell you, I don't make
the
up stuff.
hood still got. They said they need to see you on the east side of the tracks and not the west side of the track.
Uh-oh.
I'm just
Alright.
telling you.
Uh-oh.
So we'll
Hey,
holler at you though, Marino.
Hey man,
Uh-oh.
hey my dog. Hey, good luck, coach, on your season.
for sure.
Check it
Tiger
out.
Nation, baby. Tiger
Yes, sir.
Nation.
Yes, sir.
Raw.
Y'all hung out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
the hangout.
We hung out a little bit.
Y'all hung out a little bit.
Hang
We had
out.
some fun to hang out.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Yes, sir.
the hangout gives us opportunity to just not
Let
you
our
know,
hair
just-
down.
Hold on, real. What's your favorite hangout moment? Just real quick. Your
Man, you-
favorite hangout moment.
You already know my favorite hangout.
What is it? The bobblehead?
That boy said.
That's my
That boy
dog.
said. That boy
The
said.
God barber.
I was stuck.
Yeah, he was stuck.
I was stuck, man.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to say some other stuff, but I was stuck.
Hey, Bob, I don't know.
Nothing, I didn't want to say nothing negative,
Right.
but I was stuck.
Hey,
Right.
Cause y'all caught me off guard with that question.
I don't
Yeah,
think the
wow.
God barber know how funny he be, dog.
wow, that dude, hilarious.
Man, hold on, man.
You.
Hey, hold on.
You,
Now,
you.
y'all, before y'all get into that, you know we got to give
EWC,
out
rock the house.
2 female guests.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure,
yeah,
for
Very
sure,
first,
for
what,
sure.
females,
Yeah.
you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Lachelle,
You made history, you know what I mean?
Lachelle, I would not
We
forget your
messed
name
around
again.
and get big time. Y'all
Lachelle.
makes history.
Yeah, Lachelle and
But
Crystal.
don't you ever
And
come on
Crystal.
TBT trying to take it over again.
That's what you're not gonna do.
That's what you're not gonna do.
Lachelle.
This
Yes, sir.
our show.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So what you got,
But
real?
we thank you.
Yes, sir.
We do thank
Hey,
you.
look, we can't forget Vivi with the apple crisp.
Ooh.
Had that hot apple crisp.
Hey, Green, I put some vanilla ice cream on that joint. Ooh. Come on.
Boy, y'all bombs.
And
I
that
ain't- I don't
peach
even
crisp.
think I even got a chance, but they ran through that.
We ran
Did you
through
get a
that
chance
thing,
to eat
boy.
some?
I think I was on my diet.
He was on a diet then.
at the time.
He was on a
You
diet.
wouldn't-
Your wife, you
wouldn't-
took
you
you
wouldn't have
sent your
gotten
wife some though.
Oh yeah, they done. They
Yeah.
killed that. They killed that.
Yeah.
Him, her and my son.
Hey, Miss
killed
Vivi.
that.
Hey,
I need you. I need
Hey,
you. to
hey,
make
hey! Another big shout out, man, before we get to our guest, because we do got a special guest tonight.
Definitely
Absolutely.
got a
Yes,
special,
sir.
very special guest.
absolutely.
But let me give a shout out to my boy JT Adams.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
JT,
Boy, we shoulda had
baby.
them shirts,
Hey,
Absolutely.
man, he came through this year. He
Absolutely.
did.
Hey,
He's
him,
one-
JT,
hey, him and his
baby.
partner,
Him and
Coach
his partner,
Merla.
yeah.
Coach Merla. Hey, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate y'all for sure.
Absolutely.
No truth be told.
Absolutely.
Everybody talking about, I want one. I want
Yeah.
one.
Nah.
JT, y'all came through.
They
Nah.
are
Merch
coming.
Merch coming. POP. Merch coming soon.
They are coming.
Is merch coming soon? POP.
Just wait.
All right.
Just wait.
So we need that merch. I'm getting hit up too much.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh!
Uh-oh.
I got that. Yeah.
Okay.
Got that.
Okay.
You threw me off for a second. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay. No
Y'all
My
problem.
hear
mind
that?
was on another plane. My mind
He
was
said he got
actually
that.
on
He got that
thanking,
TBT
D. Randall,
merchandise.
Derek Randall for his big love. And then also, do y'all realize we still in the middle of a pandemic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got your COVID tested?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
UGA.
Okay, if you haven't,
UGA.
hit my dogs up now. Hit them Stevenson brothers.
Yo,
up
God,
there.
man, you took your COVID-19 test
Yes,
yet?
I did, man. I took my test, man. I took my COVID test. I got family and friends looking to take the test. All the sites closed down. So where they go? Where they go to take it?
That same problem.
No,
Where they go?
I got some homeboys, Robbie and Greg Stevenson, man. They still doing testing.
Yes, sir.
But I ain't got all the info on that. I think
sir.
Experience do,
Yes,
though.
sir. That's UGH. Be
That's
mobile.
right, that's right,
UGH.
that's
What's
right,
UGH, dog? You're in good hands. Clinical service. Okay, all right.
It's a private company that's been committed to providing COVID-19 accessible and affordable and mobile COVID-19 tests since the pandemic began.
Okay.
You know, and now with Manatee County shutting down their sites, their testing sites, free testing sites, hey, these guys are committed to continuing to provide accessible and affordable COVID-19 tests, whether it's for your home, your business, it doesn't matter. Whether you need a rapid test, PCR, antibody, it's whatever. Call them and they will pull up.
Wait. You saying pull up on them?
Yes, sir. Mobile.
Pull up in your driveway.
Mobile.
And they come in the house?
As in be mobile. Yes, sir. No. They don't even need to come in the house, B.
What?
They pull up to your driveway. Very convenient.
Well, that's first class service there. That's
All you gotta do is call them. All you gotta do is call them.
What's that number? What's that number?
941
Wait, hold up.
351 4100. Once again, that's 941 351 4100. And if you mention TBT, they'll show you a little love with a little discount.
Wait, hold on. Is that on the record?
That is on the record. Man, I was thinking the other day, man. You see, I got on my gear. You know what
Yes,
I mean?
sir, brother.
Used to hoop back in the day. Dog, little sucks.
Jesse P. Jesse P.
Nah.
Jesse
you know,
P.
Yo, what? Shout out to Jesse P. Y'all know who y'all. That's
The goals went
well,
over.
a lot of cats that got
6
dunked
foot.
on out there. Jesse P. Boy.
The goals went over
Jesse
6
Miller?
foot.
Huh?
The goals went over 6 foot.
Was you dunking?
Yes.
Well,
You remember I dunked on Unc? He wanted to fight me.
okay.
Hey, Unc, I'm sorry. I don't mean that. Oh, boy.
Hey, so check it out. I was thinking about that, man. I just went to thinking about hops.
Yeah.
Like, Manatee County, y'all done had a lot of talent to come through here, man. We were just talking about Curtis Johnson earlier in the Olympics.
Yeah.
We was talking about some guys we had that were, you know, national champions in football. All right. But hops. Pound for pound in the hood.
Right.
Who had the most ridiculous hops? And I'm gonna throw some names out there. Man. I think Green mentioned it. Philip Garner.
Yep.
Philip Garner.
You can't have a discussion about hops without talking about Aaron Cooper.
Aaron Cooper.
Nah, yeah, you're right. Coop had some hops. Coop had some hops.
What about
Phil Trap Garvin.
Travis
Garvin
Garvin?
had some hops.
Ade Mola, John
Ade.
Calvin, Ade
Hey.
Oba.
Hey, you know his name? Ade Adeoba.
That's what they say.
The proper way to say that. Adeoba.
No,
Adioba.
the
Ade.
correct way to say that is Ade Mola.
Okay.
John
Well,
Calvin, Ade Oba.
Well, I trust your talents on that.
That boy
Wait.
sound like he from-
I check your talents on
I
that.
never heard that. Where you get that from? Is that like real?
That's
Is that
my cousin. That's his name. Ade Mola.
That boy sound like
John
he from
Calvin,
Zamunda.
Ade Oba.
Okay. That might be
It ain't Ade Adeoba. That's how they pronounce
Is
it.
that like a language?
They don't know how
Is
to.
that like a language?
He's African. He's African.
No, I'm saying. You said it one more time.
Ade Mola.
Right there. Stop.
Yes, sir.
Mola.
That's African.
Day.
You remember that damn Mulan? I thought the motherfucker said Mulan.
Hey, y'all. For a big man,
Thought he said
LaRon
Mulan.
Williams has some hops too. For a big man.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
For a
you know
big
what?
man,
I'm
boy.
glad you said that because if you're going to go that route, you got to put some respect on big man. Howard Porter. Porter can jump.
Howard has some hops too.
Porter can jump. Hey,
Free
you know,
throw line,
speaking
bro.
of big man jumping,
Wait.
Sadi, that damn Sadarin Adams represented at my god doggone championship Friday about years ago.
See, these young hops.
y'all forget-
Hell yeah. What?
I think y'all forgetting about one person.
What?
It might be more than one person, but I remember Tommy Frazier did play basketball too, and he had some hops.
Hey, man.
Frazier has some hops.
Manatee
Frazier
had
had
that
some
half court
hops.
press. I messed around through that lazy pass, and Tommy picked it off. Let's just say I decided not to jump.
I hope you just walked to the side.
Hey man, y'all doing all that right there, man. It's classes to this. It's
Okay.
classes.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you got in football, you got 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A.
Yeah.
At one point, it was just going up to 5A.
Right.
Okay.
You know, I heard a lot of 2A, 3A guys y'all just mentioned.
Damn.
I heard a lot of 3A, maybe one 4A in that class that you guys just mentioned.
You got a 5'8" guy?
You got a 5'8" guy?
Sound like to me you got a 5'8" guy, really.
Sound like got an 8A guy.
Yeah, because they do got AA now.
They got
You talking about old school.
Oh, we
I'm
going
talking
old
about
school. Five.
Okay.
So 5'8".
Five.
Guard ball.
5'8".
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We got a 5'8" guy.
Well, it's only one.
Who you think about? Because right now, man, I don't want to have the conversation y'all keep talking about.
It's not
that
even
type of class.
It's not even. Listen.
It's not even close.
It's not even.
If you finna say what I think you finna say,
Yeah.
it ain't.
Nah.
It ain't even.
It's
close.
not.
It ain't close.
Give it a
Ridiculous.
shot. Give it a shot. Who you think? POP. 5'8".
I'm gonna act like
talent.
I'm gonna act like I don't know.
I'm gonna say he ain't even 6 foot.
He just over 5 feet.
What's that, P? What's that, P?
You gotta go down some more.
941 Mavs Man.
Mavs
Good.
Man.
He ain't even 6 foot.
Wait, Mavs Man.
5'6" and some change.
Who was the
To
Mavs
be
Man?
exact.
Who was
It
the
ain't even
Mavs
no
Man?
quarter worth of change.
Bump all
either.
that. Who-
54-inch vertical.
There it is.
Done caught a lot of bodies out in Miami with my heat.
Yes, sir, baby.
BT. Byron Thomas.
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Now we on 5'8"
Yes, sir,
type
boy.
classification.
Yes, sir.
Now we 5'8" certified,
And we
baby.
got
That ain't
him
fair.
right
That's 5'8".
here.
Yes, sir. That ain't fair. 'Cause y'all know there was some times
TBT,
When y'all thought that dude there was half man
and half amazing.
amazing.
and half
Shit.
amazing.
Half man and half amazing.
Absolutely.
And we got him
The
here on
unknown
TBT,
hero.
dog.
What y'all trying to do?
The unknown hero
is
from
y'all
the
trying to do,
941.
TBT viewers, man, we appreciate y'all locking in on with us. This season finale is big, and I ain't wasting no more time. Big shout out to all the way from Dallas, Texas, the 941 man, Mavs Man.
Man.
What's going on, family? What's going on, family?
Hey, Byron.
Hey, what's good?
Byron, man.
What's
Hey,
good?
man. Straight up, dog. 5'8" hops, baby. That's what I'm gonna put you at. 5'8" hops.
On the record, 54. Tell them so I ain't lying. People think I be talking
No,
crazy.
you're
Because I
not
be
lying.
cussing and stuff.
No, you're not lying.
Pound
Here's-
for pound, the highest vertical leap in Manatee County.
Anybody out there?
Pound
Anybody
for
out
pound.
there
Hey, you got
that want to claim they got anybody that's a 54-inch vertical leap or higher? Anybody?
Wait.
Comment.
Hold on.
Like,
Pound
subscribe.
for pound.
Hold on.
Yes.
B.
Yo.
Was that certified?
That was certified. That's certified.
Dang.
Jesus.
I can show you documentation. I obviously don't have it here with me, but
Right.
I can show you it's documented. And the guy who tested me, I'll never forget it. His name is Todd Baden. He was a fitness expert and a specialist. And this was measured 3 or 4 years after I left Manatee County. So it was probably, I had to have been 23 or 24 years old.
Yeah.
And he couldn't believe it. I actually had to do the vertical test 3 times just to make sure that I was touching.
B, you know what we like to
54
call
inches.
that around here?
Real.
We like to call that 54-inch vertical on
The record. On the record, boy.
Yes, sir. That's the true definition of come fly with me.
Them
Boy, look
hops.
here. I like
Got
Come
hops.
fly with
Real
me.
said it best. It seemed like when he jumped, it like he go up again.
Yeah, he's like,
Everybody else coming down.
So you saying it's a little boost in there in the middle, like
I don't know, man.
it's
it's
a
a little boost in there?
like jet fuel.
Boy,
You know what I'm
that
saying? Like,
that was ridiculous, man. Straight
That's
up.
crazy.
Unknown,
Wait,
man.
no, but fellas, here's the thing about it.
Straight up.
Here's the thing about it. And I'm honored to be here with you guys tonight. And I can officially say I have 5 additional brothers now.
yes.
Okay, that's
say
just the
that.
way I say it. But
For sure.
now, what you guys are describing where it said it looked like I jumped and then jumped again, you know, in retrospect, as a performer, when you get a chance to review your performance, a lot of times you're thinking, what the hell was I thinking?
Yeah.
That's a lot of times what it is.
Yeah.
When I reflect on and I hear people, especially here at home, because this is home for me.
Yeah.
When I hear them talk about things that they've seen me do, I can recall a lot of them, but the way they're describing it, it doesn't even seem real to me. But I remember the
Wow.
exploit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was. I literally was not thinking about what I was doing. I was just letting go. I was just cutting loose.
Yes, sir.
That's amazing, boy. That's amazing, that boy. It tripped me out, man, because he's from Manatee County, but he's unknown.
Yeah.
When it come to conversation about the great
Unknown,
athletes,
yeah.
through,
His name don't come up.
And that's why we wanted him here.
Yeah, his name don't come up.
Let kids know. Like it's the message is it's a lot of talent here in Manatee County.
Yeah.
Mad talent.
Y'all can parlay that, y'all.
Yeah.
It's a lot of talent, man.
Mad talent.
Wouldn't
Mad talent.
20 years ago, what I told you, you was gonna back in the day, you have a 20-year career as a professional acrobatic for a professional like NBA team.
Right.
Like people can
Crazy,
say what they want
man.
to say. He in the league.
Well, B, tell us, man. Tell me how all this stuff got started, bro.
Well, let's pick up from where we all remember. We all remember the early '90s, right?
Right.
All of us around here playing ball, having fun. So let's start the end of 1995, the summer of 1995. I'm doing these Nike Hoop It Up 3-on-3 tournaments called Hoop It Up.
Yes, sir.
And I think the state of Florida, if I recall correctly, the state of Florida had 4 or 5 different locations. So throughout the summer, you know, Tampa had there was a location in Tampa, one in Miami, one in Delray Beach, Orlando, and there's one more, Jacksonville. Those are the 5 locations. So every other weekend during the summer, we're entering and we're playing in these 3-on-3 tournaments. Well, on Saturdays at 11 a.m., and then at noon they had dunk contests. 9-foot dunk contest was at 11. Noon, it was showtime, 10-foot dunk contest. So 95, I participated in all of the Florida locations except for one. I did not attend the Jacksonville.
Okay.
But all the other locations, I participated in the 9-foot dunk contest and the 10-foot dunk contest. I won all of them, 9 and 10 foot.
That's big.
Wait, whoa.
That's big, though.
Whoa, wait.
That's 8
3
dunk
cities.
contests. I know how to read.
Yeah,
I know how to
4 of the 5 stops. Yes, 4 cities.
Four
Yes.
cities.
Yep.
9, 10, 4, that's 8.
Yep.
8 dunk contests.
Yep.
all 8.
You won
Yep.
all
Yep,
8?
all 8. All 8 that I entered in. All 8.
Oh, 8.
That's amazing, man.
That's crazy.
And fellas, it
That's
got to a point to where I was winning so often that the company that would send you the gear for winning, because they didn't have it on site.
Right.
By the time I got like 2 or 3 weeks, 2 or 3 contests into winning,
Right.
them people already had my information by the time I got down to Delray Beach in Miami. If I was in the dunk contest,
Yeah.
the people, because they just relocate, they move from city to city. They'd see me win. So if I'm there on site, it was like, okay,
It was
yeah,
expected.
yeah. Byron Thomas, 2404 30th Avenue, East Bradenton, Florida. Yep, same address.
Brian, you won.
Wow.
8. Okay, Brian, let me ask you
They
something.
already had. Please don't tell me they already had the stuff down there.
What do you mean the stuff?
You said.
Well, they had my information.
Okay.
Before you
But
got
they,
there.
I think the shoes you won was they gave you some a pair of Nikes.
Mm-hmm.
You got T-shirts that said you were a dunk champion, that kind of stuff. I was suited and booted in that gear.
That's crazy, man. Man, okay, you don't want 8 dunk contests, right? What was your signature dunk? What was that dunk that sealed the deal? Because if you win 8 of them, you had to have a signature dunk.
Yes, sir.
Well, my signature
You
dunk.
said some signature. You said
It had
something.
to be,
Signature
boy.
dunk.
You got to have a
Michael
signature
Jordan
dunk.
kissed the rim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Free throw line.
Well, what always put me over
But
the
see,
top.
back then, it's a lot of dunks we see now, but back then, what was
Right.
your signature
My
dunk?
signature dunk. Well, if I on the 9-foot hoop,
Yeah.
which was like stealing for me at that point in time. I'm just
Yeah.
being honest with you.
Yeah.
It was.
I can't
B waiters at Jesse P.
It was right.
I can't
It
even
was-
dunk 9 foot.
It was the, and you guys, we've all seen it where Michael Jordan comes in from the left baseline and he does that kiss the rim jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the 9-foot, I would always save that for last because I got
Ooh,
really
boy.
good vertical and I could get horizontal.
Ooh, the boy laying down in the air, boy.
And then I bet when he jump, it look like it's in slow motion.
Yes.
You already
Yeah.
know.
Now the 10-foot hoop,
How you slow down real
My
life?
cousin, me shout out my cousin Isaac Hart. Isaac Hart and I were exactly the same height.
Big
Okay.
What up, Ike?
Same height. So I will put him, between the obviously inside the foul line, about 2 feet away from the goal, and I would jump over him and dunk it.
Oh, you jumping on people in 95?
So
90?
yeah, man.
So he was doing it before these guys in the NBA was doing it.
Man.
Right.
Wow.
So I knew if I had stiff competition.
So y'all got that from my dog from the 9-for-1 in
So me leaping over someone else who's virtually my same height.
Right.
It's kind of hard to beat that.
So that was
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Plus I'm 5'6" and some change. So that's the crowd is already in your pocket.
and the
All you gotta
change
do is
ain't
make a couple
25
dunks.
cents either, y'all.
You're good, and you're good. Yeah.
But that's
The change ain't 25 cents either.
So Byron, so right now, man, is my understanding you are in your 20th year.
This upcoming season will be season 20 with the Mavericks. Yep.
Now, what
Alex
exactly are you
Mavericks.
doing with the Mavericks?
I'm an on-court performer. So like POP showed you guys earlier, I am the athletic entertainer. The Mavericks have 2 mascots. They have a traditional mascot who's a horse. His name is Champ. Mavs Man is your athletic entertainer. He's your superhero. He's the role model of the 2. The horse is mischievous. Mavs Man saves the day. That's my role.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
That boy a
crazy.
real legit superhero.
Superhero.
Tell you what.
Hey, everybody wanted to be a superhero
You know
when they
what
was
I'm
younger.
saying?
I'm talking about-
He's actually living as a superhero.
Man, I love this, boy. First Black Panther, not this mother.
First Black Panther.
No, hold on.
No, ain't no first Black Panther.
No, he was
Nah,
first.
he was first. Mavs Man was first.
Yeah.
Mavs Man was first.
2001
Damn,
was
I
mine.
My bad. I gotta put some respect on your
Put some
I
respect
appreciate
on
it.
Mavs Man.
I appreciate it, but hey,
Here's what you
that's
meant
the
to say,
first
PLP.
black
Here's
superhero.
what you meant to say. We got Mavs Man. and
The
then we got the
Mavs.
pretender over there in Panther Man or whatever he is.
No, real. He know that's
The
that's Black
Mav
Panther, not real.
Man,
That's Black Panther,
baby.
real.
It's the Mav Man, baby.
So
This is amazing, man.
So tell us how, because I'm pretty sure, man, like myself, how did you become Mavs Man?
Okay. The last dunk contest I won down in Miami. There is a semi-pro basketball team forming down in Miami. The name of the team, which is now a defunct league altogether, but the name of the team was the Florida Beach Dogs. They were a new team forming at the end of 95, and they're going to kick off the 96 season. They're going to start the season in 95 and transition over into 96. So they had some representatives there on site. So obviously after the dunk contest, there's a gentleman, representative, I'll never forget his name, Kerry, approached me and asked me if I had any interest in being a player. And initially I was like, yeah, because I really didn't have a whole lot else going on in my life. I said, yeah, I wouldn't mind giving it a shot. So he gave me his card, gave me his information. Man, I went back to Manatee County because that was the last of the Hoop It Up tournaments for the summer. So I went back to Manatee County, went back to my 9-to-5 job at Commercial Plastering. Shout out Commercial Plastering. But I went back to my job, and come August, September, when it was time to for the team to really start to put the players together and put a team together, I gave the guy Kerry a call. I've gotten a little ahead of myself. Let me rewind. Between the end of the summer and the team reporting and the players reporting, I had the good fortune, like we all had during that time, of sitting at home watching a TV show called NBA Inside Stuff. We all remember that.
Okay.
Rashad.
Okay,
Yeah,
Ahmad
yeah.
Rashad, I believe, but yeah. So
Saturday
of
mornings,
course,
you
Saturday
know, keep it
mornings, you know,
100.
I'm sitting on my mom's couch, man, and I'm watching this NBA Inside Stuff, man, and all of a sudden, across the screen, you see these mascot guys running and jumping and dunking off the trampoline, right? But they were this was during the All-Star weekend, so it was a mascot dunk contest.
Okay.
The majority of these characters were animal characters.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But there were 2 characters that they weren't animal characters. They were the spandex, the alter ego superhero characters, right? I mean, them dudes getting down, right? They're doing stuff that animals can't dream of doing off the trampoline. So I saw that. When I saw that, I thought to myself, I said, I don't know if I can be a basketball player in the NBA. I said, but I know I can do that.
Right.
What I see those guys doing.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So now my whole mode of operation is changing. Now I'm thinking, okay, now I'm gonna take this guy carry up on his offer, but I'm gonna go down there and I'm gonna ask him, say, look, man, can I do the superhero thing instead of being a basketball player?
Right.
And initially when I went down there and I spoke with him, and he was like, let me think about that for a minute. 24 hours later, he said, okay. He said, we'll let you do what you want to do.
Wow.
They bought me mats, trampolines. Now, keep in mind, I've never performed off a trampoline though in an actual game.
Right.
But they got me all the equipment I needed, allowed me to create a costume that I wanted.
Right.
And that team lasted, and that league lasted for about 2.5 months. Just all the teams, the league went bankrupt, and all the teams within a 2-month period of time, it just dried up.
Wow.
And it collapsed.
Did you even get a chance to make a uniform?
Yeah.
Oh, you got.
Yeah, I did.
You did
And ultimately, the gentleman who is my mentor now, who actually got me involved with the NBA, was the mascot for the Houston Rockets at the time. He was one of the guys that was getting down in the spandex. So the Florida Beach Dogs called him and had him come into town, and we trained together for about 2 or 3 days. And then we went out and we did a halftime performance together. So he was a special guest. Turbo was his character's name. You guys, for all you guys out there, you might want to look him up. He was a bad boy too.
I heard Turbo.
But we worked out for about 3 days, and then we did an actual performance together for one of our few home games. I think we might have had 3 home games altogether. And it went great, man. It went great. And obviously we formed a bond and we connected. And he gave me his card before he left town. He said, hey, man, look, if this ever dries up for you, ever have the desire to perform on a larger stage, NBA stage, he said, I've got a group of guys, man, that tour the NBA halftime circuit. And he said, I'd love to have you. Right. So needless to say, after that third home game and the league collapsed and the team folded, I used that number. And I called him,
man.
I gave him a call and met him and his group up in Atlanta, Georgia. They were performing for the Atlanta Hawks at the time.
Yeah.
And brought me in and introduced me to the guys and said, hey, man, he introduced me, said, guys, this is Byron. I met him down in Florida. And the, young guys who were a little bit more established, they was like, yeah, you met this dude. Yeah, whatever. And Jerry Burrell is my mentor's name. He said, well, we're going to give Byron a couple jumps and we'll see what you guys think, see if he has potential. So he's leaving it up to the guys the performance he already has as part of his group.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
To gauge if they think I was qualified. So the first dunk I run and jump off the trampoline, put my knees at the rim. My knees are at the rim. Boom, I dunk the ball. The guys are looking around after I land. You got to do that again.
Wait, did you
say
say
you just?
Did you say your knees?
Yeah, coming off
knees.
coming off that trampoline, man. I mean, we already know when I was, jumping off the floor. Then
Oh, you was already jumping.
Man. It's just
like
it was.
trampolines, add it up.
Fellas, I'm telling you, man. It was cheating for me back then. It really was. So they said, okay, you got to do that again, bro. You might have just got lucky on that one. So I went back down the court, took the ball, went back down, just beyond half court. And here's the thing that most people don't understand about acro dunking, which is what I do is the actual term for it, is most guys have to run from the free throw line on the other end of the court to generate enough power to get off that trampoline.
Right.
I went to the half court line and stopped there. This was on the second jump.
So in other words,
Jerry,
if he back up, he wasted.
Yeah. So I just went to half court and I stopped there. And Jerry Burrell, the owner of the group, said, B, just go ahead. So for me, that meant really cut loose.
Yeah.
I started at the half court line. Boom. Took three good, strong strides. Went off the trampoline. My feet were over the rim. Boom. I put the ball in. These dudes look.
Be that high, man.
No, but here's the thing. Okay, now the other guys who are already part of the high impact squad, the performing group that were going to perform in the arena that night for the Hawks, they mouth wide open. They can't believe what they're seeing, right?
Right.
So I land, I turn around and look back at them, they mouth wide open. Jerry, my mentor, he's over there standing in the corner, he laughed the whole time. So he went up to the guys, he said, hey, fella, I'm thank you for participating in this exercise. He said, but at the end of the day, it didn't matter what y'all thought. I saw what I needed to see from Byron a month ago.
Yeah.
We're good. But yeah, that's ultimately how I got to.
So essentially, that was your audition.
That was my audition. That was my audition for that group, which is the High Impact Squad was the name of that group. You can also find that video, a lot of videos of them on YouTube as well. They now perform under the name of Acro Dunk. Okay. So they switched those names. But I was a part of that group for 5.5 years.
So
That's
20
crazy,
years later, starting from that point, wow.
Yep.
And you think about that, man. I mean, of course, you're getting older as each year passed by. You are now what, like 40s?
48.
40s, and you're
Still jumping?
48, yeah. Uh-huh.
Wow.
Still jumping? Well, my knees don't even work.
Wow.
Boy, look here, boy. My knees don't even work.
Bro, every time I hear
I sit down and stand up, dog. He's still jumping.
Hey, B, with these ragged ass knees right here,
I'm trying to tell you,
can't
boy.
even jump to conclusions.
but I will say I use it when I'm not performing. I use my athletic ability a lot more judiciously. I'm very cautious and careful about utilizing it because that's my prime I'm beyond my prime. Just being honest with you, I'm beyond my prime. So I'm blessed genetically, and I've been blessed. I've just been blessed, man, to have had a lot of people in my life, specifically my mentor, who by the way is age 60 and he still performs. So I folled his playbook at 60 years old.
So hold on, B. Hold on.
This is a little bit too much now.
So kids.
I gotta get in the weight room.
So kids, if you want a career with longevity, God damn, my boy Byron is 48. His mentor, who is Turbo, is 60 and still jumping.
Yep.
God.
As a matter of fact,
at what point do y'all even think about retirement?
Well, the ironic thing is that when he posted, if you go on Acrodunk right now on Instagram, you can see a video of him post or right in the middle of this COVID time. He talks about wanting to be able to dunk when he's 60, and then he proceeds to go and do it. But he and I talk regularly, and since he is my mentor, he is a role model for me. So what I've done is, in its simplest context, he's laid out the blueprint of what it takes to maintain it.
Right.
So for me, it's really simple if I just follow his lead, follow his instructions, whether it's diet, stretching, any kind of physical training. That's just what I've done. And it's worked out. It's worked out for him to this point. And in his mind, he's already told me. He said, if you don't stop doing it, he said, you'll probably outlast me, because in his mind, genetically, I come from better genetic stock than him, according to him.
Right. So is it safe to say, B?
Goodness, boy.
Is it safe to say, at 48, retirement isn't even in the picture right now for you?
B, it's not, man. It's not right now because I still feel pretty good. Now, don't get it twisted now. All of you out there in TBT land, if you guys have ever paid attention to the NBA sidelines and you see these guys using these muscle warmer-uppers, these hypervolts and that stuff, I use that daily. Okay. And that's to keep me going. So I don't want you to think that I'm some kind of robot.
But regardless of you using that, B, you still jumping at 48.
Yeah.
I got two things I want to ask you. The first thing is to be 48 years old, still jumping. I don't care if you jump off a trampoline or off of, I don't know, a mat.
Jump off the damn house.
That's still, that's amazing.
That's amazing.
You're still in good shape. What does your diet consist of?
Well, I've been on vacation here in the 941.
So you've been hanging
for the
out
last 2.5 weeks. So you don't want to know what my diet has been for the last 2 weeks. But on a regular basis, I primarily eat fish, rice. I'll do beef every now and then. But I do a lot of smoothies, that kind of stuff with vegetables and fruit, juices, and a lot of water. But it's a lifestyle, man.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle, committing yourself to your diet. But I go through my phases, man. I'll go through a month or two where I'll just junk it up.
Right.
But my body is so regimented to what I do that I could eat junk food for about a month, and it's like all of a sudden my brain will tell me, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah. Get back.
And I'll have no taste for it at all. Right. And it's just because I'm programmed that way. I've just done it all.
And
my
that's
life.
crazy, man. You know, by you being a part of the NBA, Dallas Mavericks organization. Now you got NBA players,
Right.
you know, that makes a living
Yep.
for putting the ball in the hoop.
Right.
Some of them make millions of dollars. Some of them make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, with your job, you've been doing that for 20 years. That's the only job that you have for these 20 years?
With the Mavericks?
Yeah.
Yes. But during the off season, when I'm not vacationing,
Yeah.
I work with the scouting department. So when I'm done performing, that's something I can transition into.
Oh, wow.
But primarily year round.
What you mean,
I'm
like scouting?
performing.
You scouting NBA players?
Like talent.
Oh, yeah?
So
okay.
Like
that's
talent?
big.
Yeah, because obviously me being around the team as long as I have, I've had the opportunity to be in video rooms and watch how the scouts go about scouting talent. So yeah, I mean, I've just tried to take advantage of as much as possible without really being seen, so to speak.
God Barber.
That's good, man.
God Barber.
Man.
I gotta give him a big shout out. He's humble. He came to speak to my summer campers down at Lincoln Memorial Middle School, and he came and signed autographs and he spoke to the kids, man. Real, man, motivational type stuff. But I said that to say, when you asked him about, occupation and this and that, little kid did ask him, how much money you make?
He did.
And I ain't trying to put the brother business out there.
It's
Let's
okay.
just say, he say, no, I think he was like, no less than 75, no more than 200,000. We'll just leave it at that.
That's awesome, bro.
That's
awesome.
good.
That's great.
That's good. That's
awesome.
good.
That's a perfect example
blessing.
of you ain't got to play the game. You can be around, or you can play around the game and still make a good earning.
Right.
Play around the
And
game.
good living.
Build,
Get a cat.
That's right.
build around
Yeah.
the game.
Right.
Everybody
Yeah.
say, a lot of kids, some of the kids want to dream and say they want to go to
Yeah.
the NBA.
Yeah. Millions.
There you
But it's
go.
more than one way to skin a
It
cat.
sure is.
Yeah.
He ain't in the NBA, but he in the NBA.
Right.
He right
No,
there.
he in the NBA. He
Right.
just don't play on the in NBA.
Yes, sir. He there.
So what I just heard you say, which is interesting to me, that he came out and spoke to the kids at Lincoln.
Yes.
So when you were in Dallas or Houston, are you speaking to kids? What are you doing outside the arena when it comes to Mavs Man?
I do anywhere from 175 to probably 215 appearances outside of the games per year. So that means meet and greet functions, school programs for elementary school, middle school, high schools. Colleges there will book me to come in and perform and entertain their crowds as well. I've just really have been blessed in so many ways. The Mavericks are obviously they're first class organization, but they've allowed me to collect 70% of any outside bookings that I book. So if I go out in the community, if I book a show and I charge the client $1,200, $1,300 for it, I'm gonna get 70% of that. The team will get 30. So that's part of my deal. So that's why I say I've been so blessed. I've been so blessed.
And that's
man.
why I fluctate in between that range.
Yes.
Because because that's probably a big component of what you're doing.
It really is.
And the more bookings you
Yes.
have, of course that money is coming in your pocket.
Right.
So let me ask you this. Growing up,
coming through right in the middle, going to Southeast High School. When I first kind of saw you and kind of got to know you, you were always. I mean, I knew you was a basketball player, and flipping and all that stuff, but you were always quiet. You know what I'm saying?
Real quiet.
So is your character when you go out and speak to these kids? I'm assuming, are you in costume and speaking?
Yeah, I'm in costume. So Mavs Man is the spandex costume character, but he's a superhero.
So hey, let me hear your Mavs Man voice when you speak. Do you switch it up? You talk like you do?
I speak like myself.
Oh
yeah.
I speak in my radio tone. The beauty is
the Mavs Man.
the beauty
Look
the beauty
up in the
is
sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's the Mavs Man.
941.
But the beauty of it is there would normally be a concern for the audience hearing my voice and potentially recognizing it.
Right.
But the way our program is set up, I'll come onto the campus, I'll set my equipment up. There may be one PE class in there. But by the time I actually get into the costume, no one really has seen me, other than maybe a handful of kids that are in phys ed. But the audience has come in after I've left to go get changed, and then they have dismissed before I can change and come back in to put my equipment away. So they wouldn't know who I look like or my voice anyway.
That's interesting.
That's some Clark Kent Superman shit.
That's
right
a real Clark Kent. So you're saying that you can be at an event, set up, pike up,
Right.
and no one really knows that is you.
Right. Wow. Unless I divulge that information to a client or a contact or something like that. But I typically do not say anything to the audience. So students or whoever it is we're entertaining, no.
So you're really performing and working in an area of somewhat of a alter ego.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I love it. That's who I am at my core. You asked the question about me being quiet, but wearing that costume allows me to be loud. It allows me to be everything that I'm not normally.
Wow.
While still expressing myself through the gifts that God's blessed me with.
So let me ask you, so how do you, like, when you put on that costume, do you internally just everything just automatically just switches for you? Is there like a switch, or do you feel like you're still in that same space, as Byron, other than Mavs Man?
I am in the same space until the performing doors are open and I'm running into the actual performing area. Then you understand when the kids are screaming and you're inside the performing venue, then it's showtime.
I mean, I can only imagine the arena, because I'm gonna tell you, when he came to speak to the kids at Lincoln, those kids were locked in. And afterwards, when he was signing autographs, those picture autographs, man, look here, they were lined up. You had adults. I had an adult today say he forgot to get his signed autograph picture.
That's awesome, man.
Yes, sir.
That's good, man.
That's big ups to you, man.
Yeah, but man, look, guys, I'm gonna tell you like this.
Appreciate you coming through once again on the record.
My mission in life was never to be a celebrity or attain celebrity status. The reason why it was so easy for me to come and talk to your kids, Pop, is because that's where my heart is. And I know that there's a handful of kids, if not more, that are probably having some rough times or probably come from the same environment and have or coming from the same situation and have the same issues that I've had in my life. It's easy for me to pick out a kid who is not confident. It's easy for me to pick out a kid whose self-esteem is really low because I had no self-esteem as a kid. What you guys saw from me here athletically, that was my outlet. That's what that was. That's why you never heard me speak, because of my lack of self-esteem and other issues that caused me to close myself off. But these young people, Now that I know what my issues were and I have a handle on them and I understand it, it would be foolish of me to be polite. It would be foolish of me not to share my story with the young people, whether it's the countless number of young people I speak to in Texas or your kids, they're at LMA. That's my responsibility.
Right. That's not B.
That's good, man.
Now,
That's
B.
big, man.
I know you from back in the day as well. You know, shout out to, I heard Braden Middle earlier. Shout out to Braden Middle Bulldogs. East Campus, West Campus. Y'all remember that?
That green and gold, baby.
Okay. So I ain't getting into that Southeast shit. Damn that. You know that.
For real. Please.
So I'm
Why
gonna
you even
claim.
mention
I'm
that?
gonna claim Boys Club.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
And like Real mentioned earlier, you always quiet. You quiet, B. You know, at time, you was quiet. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I was raised, boy, you don't mess with quiet people. Shit.
You better not.
Yeah.
This is the reason why they quiet. What was the reason why, you and I talked about some struggles mentally, and we had to open up the floodgates and talking about mental health awareness. I mean, that's something that's got to be addressed, fellas. You know, we were taught certain, Wade coming up, macho, don't, you're feeling,
Especially in the black community.
Exactly. We got to push the reset button.
We shy away from mental
Absolutely.
health, so,
Absolutely. So you take us back, B. What
Well,
what was that? Just your demeanor, or what led to that?
Naturally by nature, I'm introverted.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know the difference between introversion and extroversion, is an introvert is the kind of person that doesn't particularly need a whole lot of outside stimulation to be content. And that's me.
I'm an introvert too.
I'm the kind of guy that, and I'm still introverted to this day.
Absolutely.
My social circle is about this big.
Okay.
It's now grown by 5.
Yeah.
And it took me to age 48 to actually extend my circle. I'm sorry, 6.
Six.
Let's
Yeah.
put some respect on Ricky. Pretty Ricky.
But the
what
one
they call
here
him.
to my right, who's not on screen, has been in the circle since
boy.
I was 5.
Big
and he
shout
was
out
4.
to Dennis, my
Dennis,
dog.
Dennis, man.
But that's
my
my
dude.
Dennis the Menace.
But for me, it started out at age 6. Was really when what formed and caused me to create the Byron Thomas that you guys all experienced. When you're introverted, as I said earlier, you're reserved, so you keep to yourself anyway, naturally. So you really aren't the kind of person that's seeking out a lot of attention. You're not looking to get involved with a lot of things, social activities, that kind of thing. But when you find yourself in a position that you're not getting the type of support, positive support, in your home environment that's positive, if you're constantly getting negative support or negative comments in your environment, negative comments, negative experiences, whether it's, hey, look, all of us in here are 70s babies, right? At some point, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we all know what rearing was like back then. When you got discipline, you got discipline. Okay. It wasn't like today. Ain't no
Translation.
time, none of this timeout stuff, right? Okay.
Translation, you got your ass.
You got
whooped.
that's right.
Yeah.
toe
So
up. You got your ass toe up.
when you're an introvert and you are, and for the record, I want to share this with you guys too, which I've been diagnosed with hypersensitivity and social anxiety, which once I figured that out,
That's big.
I understood exactly what was going on.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that can be
because I was hypersensitive about everything, any comment that was made to me was negative. I took it personally.
That's the hypersensitive.
Right.
That's
That's
the
the hypersensitivity. Any physical discipline that I got, well, heck, any discipline I got, it created an inferiority complex in me that basically transformed this kid that was reserved by nature. It shut me down. Now I'm basically a mute with
Right.
no self-esteem,
Right.
with no confidence at all. So the way I combated that is that I created a bubble for myself. So I felt I was insulating myself from pain, from the negative comments, from the hurtful from the hurtful things, the hard feelings. Just I wanted to get away from the pain.
Was that from family members? Was it from peers?
That was from all of it. It was from, I was getting it from everywhere. From everywhere. So that's why I compartmentalized and I created this bubble. And I literally put myself inside this bubble, and that bubble consisted of me not talking. And the way I interpreted it was, well, if I'm not in people's presence, then they can't say hurtful things to me. I don't have to experience pain. If I'm not interacting with people, or if I'm not around physically, then there's no way that people can say things to me, or I would have to experience any pain at all.
B. Let me stop you there.
Okay.
Let's be real. Like when they will say things to you, like what will they say to you that you recall?
Oh well, I mean,
that's
I was smaller, so they teased me about my height. Okay. My teeth were disheveled, so they found all. I mean, this is nothing new, man. Kids do this all over the place all the time. Yeah. It's common. They make fun of your physical appearance. Your physical appearance.
Yeah.
Right. So any area that you quote unquote lack in, or there is an issue, kids are going to point it out, man. They could be cruel. It is what it is. But to somebody who's hypersensitive, and has no self-esteem,
right,
dude, that's that. I mean, you may as well be taking a hammer and just beating them in the ground even more. So that's why I retreated into my bubble, and my bubble was just simply, I don't interact with anyone. I don't say anything to anyone. The only interaction I really had was through physical competition or at school, completing assignments. But as far as a social life, my social life basically consisted of my best friend here. I mean,
real quick, would you say you had a chip on your shoulder? Like, would you walk around like, were you like?
It's hard to,
you know what I mean?
POP, like, it's hard for me to say that I had a chip on my shoulder, because I had no confidence. It was more of like just keeping myself from being hurt mentally and physically. So now I will say that as time went on, and I got to be, a young adult, 18, 19, 20, the Byron that you all experience here in Manatee County, I had a chip then. But even though I had the chip then, and I was unleashing that rage and that anger and that pain on the basketball court or on the football field, I still never had the confidence to even verbally tell anybody or insult them or tell them what I was doing.
Wow. So, and that can work both ways, man. I heard you say, and I'm just going to assume when you say that, when you walk outside with friends, people that you may not know, family members, whoever, and you were hearing these comments, these comments were eventually affecting you,
right,
in some way.
Well, they affected me right away. So,
on the flip side, if you think about this, right, if you're hearing negative stuff all the time, that's going to have a negative effect on you. And you think about someone that may, and I see it all the time, a little girl or a little kid that's handsome or attractive, and they always hearing that, right?
Right.
They always hearing that.
Yep.
They don't need that reassurance as they get older.
Right.
They know this because they heard
They've been
it
told
so
over
much.
then. Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right.
So that's the same reverse effect
exactly
that you were going through.
Exactly.
Hearing the negative.
Exactly.
The negative stuff.
Exactly.
And now that's constantly on your mind.
Right.
Like, no matter where you go, the moment you step in a building full of people, you still have that negative thought process connotation that you've been hearing all your life.
Then that started, you say, when you was young, right?
Between the ages of 6 and 7.
And that's amazing because to hear all that from you, you say you're getting the negative energy from your loved ones. That's your family, your loved ones. Okay, how was you able to open your heart up for your best friend? Because you say y'all been friends for when? Since y'all was what?
5 and 4?
5 and 4.
About 1980.
So you was going through that negative force back then. How was you able to open up for your friend right here?
Is strange as this may seem, and it may not be strange for some people, dude never gave me a reason. He never said anything negative to me. Mm-hmm. Even honestly, me and him we've never really even butted heads on things. So he was my refuge in that sense. We've always clicked from day one. And he's, obviously he's gone through some things in his life, and I've been able to be there for him. But we've always been there for each other, because I would be lying to you if I didn't say that had there ever been a time where things were negative between us, I probably would have cut him off
yeah.
But I'm blessed that has never been the case with him.
Yeah, wow. That's good, man. That's big, man. To be able to find a soft spot in your heart, even though you was going through that negativity.
Right.
But another thing too, with families, a lot of times when you come out of your shell or the bubble you was in, when you come out that bubble and you start expressing what was going on in your life,
right?
Some family members will be uncomfortable with that.
Right.
Some family members be like, man, why is he telling that? Keep that stuff inside, man. Or someone might be saying you're lying.
Right.
Because I don't want to make it a black and white thing. But like I said, of course I'm black, so I'm gonna make it a black thing. In the black household, we was taught to keep stuff inside.
What goes on at home stays at home.
Yeah.
Right.
And when you break that code by bringing stuff outside, even though it's the truth,
right?
Family members get upset with you. So how was you able to deal with this? By you coming out, telling them about,
right,
all the disadvantages you had coming from the family members.
Well, here, God Barber, here are some things that I've truly learned, and what's allowed me to evolve as a person when it comes to this is, at the end of the day, my truth and my story is just as important as those who may not want the truth to be told. But my family, in all honesty, the ones who I would say caused or in the reality is that when I shared it with them, because me sharing this now is not the first time they've gotten wind of this.
Yeah.
This is a conversation I've had with them years ago. So they know, because it took me to the age of 42 or 43 years old, believe it or not, before I finally told them. Because the question in my family was, and they've asked my wife this for years, why is Byron so distant? That's what my family members asked. The ones who were involved with it. So there came a point to where I shared that with them. Some of them remember that stuff. Some of them don't. But they respected the fact that I told them, and it made sense to them why I was the way I was, why I was closed off from everybody. And all of my family here knows that I was coming on the podcast. They knew that they knew the subject matter was about mental health. And I told them what I was going to be talking about. So at the end of the day, I know what my experience was. I know that the experience I've had in my life is going to help someone else. And that's what's most important to me. Anything else when it comes to my family, we can work through those things. And my family, I have a wonderful family, man. To be honest with you, I couldn't be more blessed with the family. But with any situation, with any family, there's gonna be peaks and valleys, ups and downs, bumps in the road. It just is what it is.
Right.
So is this the first time, this podcast the first time my family's hearing about this? No. They know.
It's just one of those situations where, like you said, it's going to be your peaks and you're going to have your lows. And it just, in your situation, your diagnosis, those lows really were emphasized.
Yeah.
Not necessarily emphasized by them, but internally
for me.
emphasized.
Yeah. Deep depression, man.
Right.
Deep depression. And didn't even realize I was depressed.
Wow.
Okay. Because I regimented myself so much to doing whatever it took to eliminate the pain that now that's just my default setting.
Right.
That's just how I function.
Were you ever clinically diagnosed as officially depressed?
Not with depression.
Okay.
With social anxiety and hypersensitivity.
Right. But not depression.
But depression, no. And the only, according to my therapist, my profession, that's what allowed me to quote unquote stay afloat, because that's what allowed me not to sink too low, right? Because that was my outlet.
Wow.
As long as I could play ball, as long as I'm performing, then I'm free of that weight, so to speak. So being in that costume frees me in a lot of ways.
So the term mask on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it fits. Mask on, mask off fits me to a T.
Wow.
It fits me to a T. I'm a lot wiser now that I know and I understand what my issues are. If I had no understanding of what my issues were, didn't have a grip or a firm grasp on it, I wouldn't be in here doing this interview right now, because it would just be totally against the reality I created for myself.
So as a 6-7-year-old kid growing up and having to go through these situations, and it can be trauma. You know
absolutely.
As an adult, and you being a married man, 3 kids, four kids,
4 sons,
four young men.
Yep.
How has this affected, or has it affected your marriage in some shape or way?
It's affected my marriage and my role as a father greatly, because, man, like most people, like most men, when we're young, we have our visions of having a family and the kind of father we want to be and all that stuff. We rarely take into account en route to becoming a father. We never really take into account when we have this when we're looking at this vision of everything you're going to go through in your life, personally or experience, by the time you become a husband or a father. So, because I've lived in this bubble, right, that just spills right over into every other area of my life. So as a husband, there were times, there were days and weeks that went by when my wife wouldn't hear a word out of me at all. We could walk back and forth. So the episode you guys did a few weeks ago, where y'all going back and forth about, man, ain't no way you gonna be in the house with your wife and me sitting there for 30 days.
Conversation or sex?
It was like that. Because I had no self-esteem, and I created this reality, and because it was what I thought was safe, that's just where I existed. Right? Now the basic things in my mind, the basic things, being a provider, being present in my boy's life, attending as many functions as I could involving them. But as far as being, for me to be labeled and diagnosed as hypersensitive, I wasn't very sensitive to anyone except for myself, because of my concern about pain. So that's where the family life suffered within my marriage and with my sons.
Now, man, you and I have had several conversations, and you seem to be, and not just conversations. I can't let it go. Now, you came down here every summer. You come down here every summer, and one of the things you guys have to do, and I have a lot of respect for your family, is y'all get together and y'all have a little flag football game against the youngsters.
Right.
So, so I'll say this: he still got some talent, but I am gonna say them young bucks got on their ass.
Yes,
we'll
they
say
did.
that for another story.
Yes,
but
they did.
I said all that to say, based on the conversations you and I have had, just seeing you around your family mentally right now, you seem to be in a good space.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now let me ask you this. Is it safe to say, let's just say, I remember you telling your story, at one point in time you were working at commercial plastic.
Yeah.
So you think becoming in that route, becoming a Mavs man, did that kind of save you? Do you think if you were 20 years on the job or 20, probably 30 plus years by now on commercial plastering and just hardworking man doing what you're supposed to do, do you think you would be in the same mental space you in right now?
It's hard to say, but if I had to guess, if I had to give my 100% honest estimate as to what my life would be, if it didn't include sports and being able to get out and release that way, it probably would have manifested itself in different ways. So it probably would have been violence, drugs. Because that's going to come out. That's going to be released one way or the other.
Absolutely.
That's going. There's only so much of that you can keep inside before it blows.
Yeah.
But my outlet was, and still is, sports. I could pick up a ball right now, man, and that's what I did most of the pandemic because I couldn't train. I was in the gym every day.
I seen you use ball with the kids.
So,
you had a little touch a little bit. I saw you. You know what I mean?
But that has before I made the decision in 2015 to reach out and get help myself from a psychologist. That was my therapy. That was my release until I went to a psychologist and I actually was diagnosed and I was able to go through various exercises and had those breaks.
So B, was that to me that, you know, I work in the field. I work at Centerstone. I'm a behavior tech. That sounds like a form of depression. And the reason I'm saying that is because I kind of went through that a form of depression when my mom died. And when you said that, you know, you could have turned to drugs or you could have turned to violence, I actually turned to drugs. Like I was drinking every day. I was taking Loratabs, you know, to try to deal with that pressure of my mom passing. I didn't know how to deal with it. You know, I found myself, you know, getting mad and, you know, things in that nature. But that's big. Like we have to get help. You know, we you know, not trying to sound racial or anything, but us in the Black community, we kind of shy away from depression or the mental health.
Right.
That's right.
We shy away from that.
And that's what we
and
got to
there's
get away
nothing
from.
wrong with getting help. We got to get away from that. Like it's nothing wrong with getting help because if you don't get help, that's when you crash.
That's
and
right.
You continue. Like me, if I wouldn't have got help, I could have just I don't know where I would have been. You know what I'm saying? I could have really went off in the deep end, you know, with the depression when my mom passed. But hey, B, you gotta get right. Go get you some help. You know, go talk to somebody.
Real. I don't see any weakness. There's nothing weak to me.
There's nothing weak
about
it. No.
being about doing what you have to do to be the best.
And that's the conversation.
There's nothing
that's
weak
the
about
conversation we got to have. And Real said it best. I'm gonna quote my boy Real. He was like, you know, we do whatever for the body, you know, exercise, lift weights, diet, and all that good stuff. But in reality, you got to do the same thing for probably arguably one of the strongest muscles in your body, which is the mind.
That's real.
It is.
And
It
I
truly
appreciate
is.
you saying
That's
that, B,
real.
because at the same time, man, you had me reminiscing on, you know, the reflection of, you know, recent deaths that I've, you know, had to encounter, you know, from a family standpoint, and, you know, I don't know. I don't depressed. I don't know. First of all, I need to find out what is the exact definition of depression, you know, and then at the end of the day, you know, the conversation comes from that. But I'm not, you know, afraid anymore to sit up here and tell you that I'm feeling some type of way or this hurts or that hurts. And I think that's the conversation us men, you know, got to start having, you know, with each other. We got to be real about this here. And I'm like, B, you talk about the death of your mom, you don't get over that.
You don't
get over that.
Never,
So
you never get over it, you know. And I hate when people they'll come up to you, you'll be all right.
No, hell
I'll never
no.
be all right.
You never say that.
I learned how to
hell
deal with
That's
it,
right.
how to live with
You ain't
it.
never gonna be right.
But being right,
Yeah.
man, it's mornings that I just wake up, get in the shower, and I just cry. You know what I'm saying? It ain't been a day.
I feel you.
2017.
I feel you.
That I ain't cried, dog.
I feel you, man.
Like for real.
I
But
feel you.
I know how to control it by getting help. You know how to control it. You know how to, you learn how to deal with it.
You learn how to deal with it.
You learn how to deal with it. Not that it's gonna be all right, but you learn how
But
to
you learn,
deal
that's
with
right.
it.
That's
Man,
right.
that's
My
some
mother
real
also
shit,
passed
man.
in 2017, same year as your mom. Had I not been in therapy, there's no way I would have gotten through
Yeah,
it.
everything could have came crumb like just
Right.
and
That's
I just,
It's real.
Because I
It's
automatically
real.
reflect on what I was already dealing with. And then had my mom's passing been added to that, and I didn't have any understanding of what was going on with me,
can't even imagine that, bro.
Yeah.
that's what
That's
would have
some
happened.
real stuff,
Well,
man.
well, we have LaVonna Gregory is in the building, guys.
Sean.
Yeah.
y'all.
We know her from the hood.
Hey,
as
Sean.
So
Welcome, welcome.
So LaVonna,
Welcome, Sean.
Well, my name is LaVonna Gregory, and I'm a licensed mental health counselor in the state of Florida. I currently work in my full-time job as a school-based mental health counselor in the elementary schools in Sarasota County, and I also work with adults and families in private practice, and a practice here locally in Bradenton. Well, I think mental health is the psychological part and the emotional part of an individual that sometimes is unbalanced. And I think, you gave perfect examples of just words hurt. They don't go away. And I think in our community, trauma can be an accident, it could be somebody died, it could be anything. It looks different for different people. But I think sometimes we forget about the kids and having these conversations and explaining what that looks like. But then that's also generational. We can have a whole different segment about that because generationally, we don't talk about anything. So I know for me, when I work with kids, I meet them where they're at. Let them tell me their story. Because how often do we take time to have a conversation with a child without disciplining them, redirecting some behaviors, or putting them down? And I think we forget about the kids. And I just sometimes just talk to them. Tell me about your day. And they'll tell you some stories.
Oh, yes, they will.
They'll tell you everything. And sometimes those, and I think a big thing too is you were on point. The quiet kids we kind of miss. We focus on the kid that's turning over the desk and he's off the chain and he's at the principal's office all the time. But we're so focused on that. That's a whole nother conversation of behaviors too. But we forget about the quiet kids that kind of get missed.
Miss Sean, let me ask you this here. Because I was listening to your definition of mental health, which is the balance between the emotional and mental. So one question is, you think you'll be able to help fix me before this damn show with? Cause
I don't think we have
something
enough
ain't
time.
shit ain't right with me. I'm just
But the thing
I don't
about
think I
it
had a
is,
choice. But no,
seriously,
I had a serious
we
question,
all.
though. I have a
One of my big things is I always say it's important to provide an emotional space for people to talk about how they feel. And what that means is, you know what? You can tell me how you feeling. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to give my opinion about how you're feeling. I'm not going to take away from your story. I think that's the big thing is that we don't take the time just to listen and check in on one another.
Well,
Sometimes when you call people and you say, how you doing? Do you really, are you listening?
right.
So outside of that, I want to just touch a little bit about what LaVonna said, because I go through situations at Booker High School. So I've been working at Booker High School now for 6 years. And one of the other biggest problems is I see it all the time. And, I see it a lot when we talk about our community, the Black community and our kids. I see it so much where our kids will deny any type of services when it comes down to mental health. Now, and I take what you said, Green, with, keeping things inside the household, right?
Yeah.
And not being, being in that situation, oh boy, don't you be telling people about what's going on in my house.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
That's a problem. We're not allowing, even though those kids are going through those situations And on top of that, they've been told, boy, keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
And imagine what's going on in those kids' heads where they now are pretty much, I'm not doing that.
Right.
I'm not gonna go and tell my business to this person who's trying to probe and bring. So imagine now what's compounding within that child. The fact that I can't tell nobody. The fact that all these things are going on in my life. I'm too young to really realize what's going on.
Yeah.
And the situation just keeps getting worse and worse.
Absolutely.
So at what point are they releasing anything at all?
That's big.
And they don't have any clue of what's really going on in their life.
Because you got grown folks that are sometimes can't even mentally handle those situations, let alone a kid.
Right.
That's a big statement right there.
Yeah, man.
That's big.
You know, as
So
blacks,
if the grown up can't deal with it or don't know how to deal with it, how can you just think of the damage we're doing to the kids, man?
Yeah, man.
Just think of what that child is going through.
You know what this sounds like?
I don't mean to cut y'all real, but something important. I think we need to make sure we promote when seeking help. Okay, get professional help. You know, we are in this social media era.
Right.
And I know, you know, I'm still waiting to get my password reset for MySpace.
Right.
I don't have a Facebook or anything like that. But I've heard like some bull-ish go on Facebook in regards to people and their feelings. Like people put a lot of stuff like feelings on Facebook and Instagram and this and that. I don't think that's the way to handle that.
That's not healthy.
That's not
at all.
No, because you're putting some out, but you're not receiving anything.
Right.
You're just putting out a lot of information about what's going on, but you're not getting anything back to help you in the resource.
And I like that you said that, real, because you get the comments back, but are those comments genuine? You know, are the people really the ones that saying I'm praying for you or I'm here for you, hit me up? Is that really genuine, or is that just a show on Facebook to get some likes, or just to say, dang, Joe really care about that person? You know what I'm saying? Is that really genuine?
Listen, man, we've been conditioned, man. We've been conditioned because you're right. There's a point when something's genuine, and then there's a point when something's programmed. What I mean by that is, if I say I'm sad, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pray for you, Pop.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's what you get on that.
That to me, that's more programmed than
programmed.
Really genuine.
Right.
You'll know when something's genuine.
That's right.
Because outside of that, you know, I'm gonna pray for you. Oh, now I'm finna get your phone call.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a text. You're gonna get some
if I don't know your phone number, I'm in your inbox. Here go my number.
Right.
Hit me up
so we can talk.
What's going on? Let's talk. If it's really genuine, get in my inbox. Let me know you really mean this.
How about this?
You ain't just doing it for a show.
How about this for old school?
Knock on the door.
Knock on the door.
Oh, absolutely.
Them days over right now.
I know they got the ring nowadays.
Right.
You got ring. Talk to me.
Talk to me.
You can talk to me on ring.
And then it's a pride thing too, man. Because when we hear mental health, we think somebody crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
Ray,
nobody in the black household want to let
Green. That's real.
Yeah,
that's real.
Nobody in the black household want to let people know that they child crazy.
Right.
Green.
You know, that's too much pride.
Absolutely.
Right.
Instead of going out there and get your child some help, you let the child sit in the house, go crazy, because your pride won't let you go out there.
That's right.
Yeah.
But
It's a lot of pride, man.
Think of the stereotypes we had coming up. You know what I mean? I just remember whether it's cartoons, sitcoms, this and that, the funny farm, right? They refer to, you know, mental health facilities as the funny farm.
Yeah.
Right.
You see the straight jacket, you know, all that good stuff.
So being restrained,
if you seeing that, at the end of the day, as a kid,
that automatically becomes your definition of what that is.
I was the only child. I watched a lot of damn TV. So shit, when I see that, I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm not going to the funny farm, or you're not gonna have me in a straight jacket or this and that. But it's the complete opposite. Learning now, man. Look here, man. Listen. I don't care what you think. I'm a human being. And life happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Life happens.
Life happens.
Let's talk about this. I'm like B, B still. I feel like mentally a piece of him is gone. His mom, because that run deep, and I feel that. I feel that. I lost my cousin. I lost my first cousin, man. January 12th, 2021 this year, man. Cancer. And in the span of about, from November to January, you go in the hospital with a stomach ache and you get diagnosed with stage 4 cancer.
Yeah.
And then your first chemo treatment, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. Am I depressed? But that shit still hurt.
Yeah.
And if I stay in the
we
moment,
all,
if I
man.
stay in the
If
moment,
I had
that
to
shit still hurt. My
diagnose you,
auntie,
if I had to diagnose you, and I don't have no license to diagnose nobody, but yes, you are. And me as your brother, it's something that you're gonna have to get help for, homie. You're gonna have to deal with it. Whether it's with us, with TBT, or your family, your wife, your kids, your
that's
mom,
part of it.
Yeah.
your
You
pastor.
just-
I mean,
right.
you
You
gotta talk about it. You can't just wear it here, because when you wear it here and here,
It's
and
just,
on
it's
your
just,
back,
it's
that's
just a
when
build up.
And then-
It's
right.
gonna
Yeah, the
pile
build-up.
up,
The build-up.
pile
Yeah.
up,
Right,
pile
that's
up,
right.
pile up,
Yeah.
Right.
and you not, and then when
Right.
it comes out, it's gonna be so wrong.
Right.
It's
And
gonna
but
be
check
so
this
wrong.
out. I'm not even there. I need to charge I need to build myself, because I'm my own psychologist.
But
so to speak.
right now, homie, you it's like like Byron puts on that costume.
Yeah.
That's the experience. You putting on that costume to deal with it.
No, but I got other avenues. Like you say, man, ain't nothing about like a good woman.
Yeah,
Boy, look here.
I know you got.
So I got avenues between
I know
that,
you got
the
one.
kids,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
family,
Yeah.
between great family, friends.
Yeah.
Shout out to my bootleg yacht club, hanging
Yeah.
out, living life. If anything, what I've done is I flipped the script. Number one, I ain't afraid to talk about it. I ain't afraid to talk about it.
Yeah.
I love my damn cousin Frederick Michael Taylor,
Yeah.
my motherfucking dog,
Yeah.
and he gone. And I ain't scared to say that shit hurt no more. But you know what? I'm not living in a state of just end of the world. Because
Yeah.
I know right now, if he looking down, he's saying, boy, what the fuck wrong with you, P? You better keep it moving. We done had conversations about a podcast. Hey, man,
Yeah.
do your thug thizzle, man. So how I'm moving, and then the lesson is, we always talk about the cliche, life too short. Man, that's why I'm living. Y'all, man, something wrong with me. You know what? I'm having fun. Time is winding up. We talk about it. The fact that, are you promised tomorrow?
Right.
Do you really
Yeah.
understand that?
Yeah.
Right.
So, man, listen. I love when he wake you up in the morning, man, and you able to put them 2 feet on the ground, man. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus.
That's real.
I appreciate you.
That's real.
Yeah.
Get a chance to do it again. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So it's whatever. We all made mistakes. You talked about as a dad, as a husband, this and that. But the fact remain is, when you have situations like what happened to me, the death of my cousin, what that just remind you, man, time winding up, man. So at the end of the day, if the Lord give you a chance to do it all over again, try to make the most of it.
Right.
And that's what I'm living. I'm living, man. I'm living till
Yeah.
the walls fall off. Like my boy Baylo say, to the bus side.
To the bus side,
Bus side, boy.
That's
Yes,
tough.
sir.
Good, man.
And it
Hey,
is what it
bro.
is,
They
man.
low.
Your life,
Man,
man.
listen, man, I get to come around. I get to come. If I ain't got nothing else to do, I can come to the shop, hang out with T Green and them.
Yeah.
You better believe it.
You know what I mean? I got
You better believe
TBT. But most importantly, I got family. I got a support system that's there. That at the end of the day, I can't fold because I got people
Yeah.
living.
That's
You're
right,
right.
bro.
And I had that same support system. The same support system. But I still found myself letting it pile up. Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
And I had a wife there. I had my kids there. I had everybody there. A, B, 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 B. But I was just letting it So when I did release it, it was wrong towards my wife. It was wrong towards my kids. It was wrong towards my brother. It was wrong towards my sister. So I had to go and seek that help and get that help so I can deal with it. We different. You dealing with it. You
I
dealing
am.
with it. But to me, I had to pick up a bottle.
I got you.
Remy, You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I feel you.
I had to pick up a lower tab. At the same,
hey,
I'm gonna hit that. I'm gonna put that lower tab in my mouth and hit that rim and let that thinking that was, you know, me dealing with it or that was easing the pain when that was really that was hurting me.
Just temporary.
That was hurting my wife. That was hurting my kids. You know, that was hurting my family.
Baby, I'm gonna tell you something right now, man. I'll be remiss if I ain't give my wife a shout out because she was huge. You know, and you know it's simple with her. Jesus.
That's real. That's real.
Jesus. That's it. It's no secret formula. It's no, you know. It's simple.
Hit them knees, go in that closet by yourself.
It's simple. The Lord.
Yes, sir.
Get closer to the Lord.
Well, let me say something, man. Let me say something. I know we
that's real. That's like real talk. Go ahead, Bob.
I know I ain't mean to cut you off.
No, you good. You good.
But before we wrap this up, man, I'd like to say, Byron, we really appreciate you coming on the podcast to open up this conversation about
man.
mental health.
Big, man. This is
you know,
huge.
because here in Manatee County, you know, when they see POP, Reg, Real Deal, B-Weight, the Negotiator, T Green, the God Barber.
I done had 7 days.
They see sports.
Right.
When they see you today, sports. Okay, but for you to turn that channel into mental health.
Right.
And then to be quick right now, we all dealing with mental health. We all
Exactly.
lost
dealing
family
with
members,
exactly.
you know?
Right.
Not even
Exactly.
with losing family members. Just
stuff
being black.
Shit going on.
Just being
Life,
black.
life
I was just gonna say just
You
life
know,
in
just
general,
living-
man.
just living
Life
day
in-
to day.
so
Right.
living day to day, man. You never know the different issues that people deal with on a daily basis, and some people know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And some people, like I said earlier, they let it boom, 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 pile up.
And that's what you
that's
can't
what
do.
creates the depression.
And that's what we can't do.
And the schizophrenia.
Right.
And the,
Okay.
you know, all that stuff, man.
So quick answers on we talked about the fact you got to talk about it. We talked about it's healthy to do things in a positive manner. So help the people out. What are some positive outlets to deal with it as opposed to the drugs and the drinking and all that good stuff? Me,
What we doing now? Talking.
right?
Talking.
Exercise.
Well, I'm not going to sit and promote an unhealthy way. I think my job is more so, okay, so let's talk about what is working for you and what's not. Because you might smoke weed, but it's still not working for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't go to your job and just light up. So let's talk about putting some healthy coping skills into place. Can you exercise? Can you do meditation? Can you do biblical verses? You know, can you do yoga? Like, come up with some healthy ways to deal with whatever your struggles are, as opposed to the unhealthy ways.
What can what can we do as far as resources? And before LaVonna, before you tell us, I just want to say one thing. You know, I kind of talked about the kids in the high school, and we talked about adults, and it seemed like it is a generational thing, you know, especially amongst our people in our community. I was going through something with my marriage, where I went in a counseling. I had eventually got counseling through my school system, and I went into this counseling thinking, you know, I'm here for my marriage. I'm trying to save my marriage. You know, that was a big step for me. I never done anything like that to go talk to somebody that I don't know about what's going on in my house.
Right.
That was
the obvious question. Right. Go ahead.
So that was big for me to even take that step. But here's the thing. Just like with mental health, this is something that I wanted and I needed.
There you go.
And because I needed, I was searching for anything that could help my marriage out.
Absolutely.
So when you come to mental health, when you get past all the negative comments about counseling and you don't need to do this or you keep it inside, you got to work on yourself.
You sure do now.
You got to work on yourself.
Right.
So when you get to that point of, hey man, I don't exhausted everything, or what I've been doing is just not working.
It's not working, bro. That's it.
I got to go get some help.
Right.
That's real.
That's it.
So with me,
Preach.
in my marriage, I had to go get some help.
Real.
Because I was just to a point where this ain't working. And a lot of it has to do with me.
Absolutely.
But in that instant, when I was going through counseling, something was uncovered.